This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Friday, December 29th, 2023. I'm Kate Sharon. Auburn-based not-for-profit Fortify Life is growing its capacity to serve individuals and families in need, thanks to a $600,000 grant from the Federal Home Loan Bank of Indianapolis. Our partners at WPTV report the funding will allow the organization to nearly double the amount of available emergency shelter space. Currently, Fortify Life can support 13 families who are facing homelessness or another form of a housing crisis. Executive Director Mitch Figert.
When we're done with renovations, we're going to expand to 24 rooms. And so we'll have both the front of our facility and the back open. So we'll be able to invite the community in to come take classes with their neighbors. These individuals who are also their neighbors from DeKalb County. We'll have a full on-site kitchen, full on-site laundry.
Figert said the renovations will include creating a program space that will allow for classes of 30 to 40 people at a time, focusing on education, transportation, housing, and finances to help the impacted individuals get back on their feet. The renovated space will also feature a full on-site kitchen and on-site laundry. Nearly 89% of Indiana high school seniors graduated in 2023. The Indiana Department of Education said Friday this year's number is up from 86.52% in 2022 and is the second highest graduation rate since the state began collecting data in 2012. Indiana's highest graduation rate was 89.1% in 2016, which is only 0.12 percentage points above the class of 2023. Additionally, the non-waiver graduation rate improved 4.34 percentage points to 84.92% this year. The IDOE also released the state's 2023 federal graduation rates due to differences between federal and state accountability equations and standards. Indiana's federal graduation rate was 87.52%. A state senator known for filing legislation aimed at IndyGo has introduced a measure targeting the transit agency again in 2024. IndyGo says the bill, if passed, would kill the proposed Blue Line. He also plans a bill that would reverse Indianapolis's new no-turn-on-red ordinance. Senator Aaron Freeman of Indianapolis has filed Senate Bill 52, which would prohibit public transit projects from using dedicated lanes. It would specifically target the planned Blue Line rapid transit bus route, which would run east to west across the city along Washington Street. Freeman, a former Indianapolis City County Council member, has introduced legislation targeting IndyGo on at least 2 other occasions. This time, though, he thinks the political will exists to pass the bill in both the Senate and the House, where previous efforts have died. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Whether it's a new hire or a noteworthy promotion, IIB's Big Wigs and New Gigs serves as a platform to promote your team. Our revamped offering includes being featured on both the newly redesigned newsletter and at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Subscribers to the Business News subscription save $10 off every listing. Plus, you can save $100 by bundling your submission to IIB with the Indianapolis Business Journal or the Indiana Lawyer. More at InsideIndianaBusiness.com.
The Genius School in Indianapolis has lost its bid for a charter from a second authorizer after the Education One board at Trine University rejected its application Wednesday, citing concerns with inflated enrollment targets and financial projections. IIB's Alex Brown has more.
The 3-0 vote creates uncertainty about the future of the troubled Genius School on the east side of Indianapolis. The small school, which is co-located with GEO Next Generation High School, has a charter with the Mayor's Office of Education Innovation that expires at the end of this school year. The Genius School renamed itself after Indianapolis Public Schools removed it from the district's network of autonomous innovation schools. In its decision to sever ties with the school, which used to be called Ignite Achievement Academy, the district cited high staff turnover, poor academic results, and low attendance. The school, which was placed on probationary status by the Office of Education Innovation around January 2022, withdrew from the renewal process with the authorizer earlier this year. The Education One board on Wednesday also voted 3-0 to revoke the charter for Thea Bowman Leadership Academy in Gary, citing ongoing struggles with staff turnover, declining enrollment, and academic underperformance. The school is in the second year of a 3-year charter extension set to expire in June 2025. Without a charter, Thea Bowman's roughly 850 students could be forced to look for new schools in June when the revocation takes effect. However, the school is seeking approval from Calumet College of St. Joseph, another charter authorizer. In a press release after the vote, Education One's executive director expressed disappointment that the school has decided to seek approval from another authorizer rather than rectify its deficiencies. The votes follow a chalkbeat analysis of Marion County charter schools that found a lack of guardrails in state law to ensure that charter schools and their authorizers are held accountable. State law provides little oversight of schools seeking approval from a new authorizer after facing scrutiny from their existing one. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Drivers traveling on the Chicago Skyway will need to dig out a little more change starting January 1st, when it will raise its tolls from $6.60 to $7.20 for two-axle vehicles. Tolls have increased for all vehicles, including increased tolls during peak hours for trucks with over 3 axles. Our partners at the Times of Northwest Indiana report that tolls have ticked upward since 2005, when then Chicago Mayor Richard M. Daley leased the Chicago Skyway to a European-Australian joint venture for $1.82 billion. Ownership has been passed around to multiple companies since. The tolls in 2004 were $2. Langham Logistics CEO Kathy Langham is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Kate Sharon for Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.